Good morning, Takeover community, sports card collecting friends, anyone else who might stumble across this video and wonder what the heck's going on. I'm DMN Takeover, here for another Takeover TV episode. Today, I wanted to talk about autographs and the way in which we view them in the hobby, the way in which they've kind of become pumped out, and we've amassed so many that I feel like we've lost respect for them. And what maybe we could do about that, just some thoughts, opinions. I admit I don't have the perfect answer, but I just wanted to give a perspective to chew on, and I wanted to see what you guys think. So here we go. I think we need to go back to the non-guaranteed autograph era in boxes. Now hear me out. I love pulling an autograph as much as the next person, and it would be a shock to suddenly not pull them in every box that I open. However, sometimes that happens anyways. We know about rewards points. And I understand that we need to balance the value of the box with that. But here's the thing. Autographs are pretty devalued. I mean, there's certain people whose autograph is worth less than another person's silver rookie. I mean, that doesn't totally add up all the time. Obviously, maybe that guy with the autograph is not a good player and the silver rookie, yada, yada, yada. But you can still open a box of cards with the guaranteed autograph and pull 2 or 3 autographs that are worth $1 or $2 a piece. So there's that. I just honestly miss the thrill of pulling an autograph. When I go into a box, obviously it's still a blind box situation and I don't know what player I'm going to get, but I know that an autograph's coming. It doesn't really hit the same as when I was a kid. When I was a kid, there was something about getting any player's autograph. And when I pulled that player's autograph, I suddenly became connected to that player. I didn't toss it aside or scoff at its value or anything like that. I actually connected to the player in a way where I then wanted to track what they were doing. I became invested in their career. And it wasn't because I thought, oh, I'm going to flip this later. Now, yeah, I am a sports card flipper by business, but I'm a collector at heart. I just collected it. I was just so excited to have an autograph. I was tracking their progress, tracking their career, watching their stats, checking box scores. If their game was on TV, I was honing in on that player because I owned a piece of them, essentially. I owned their autograph. I took pride in that. And I miss that. I miss that joy. I miss that. And maybe it's just on me to recreate that. But I do get that in my personal collecting because I collect any and all Baltimore Ravens autographs. Doesn't matter if they were never even suited up. I just think that joy injected back into the hobby would be a good thing. And I'll also explain how I think it could be good from just a financial standpoint, as far as people who are flipping cards, even if you're not thinking about, the heart of collecting. I wanted to show 2 examples of what I'm thinking about. In that era of not knowing when I was going to pull an autograph, one of them that I was thinking about is the Pro Line series. Now, I was trying to find the odds on what these actually were. According to what I could find on the internet, it looked like in the 1991 Pro Line, you could find one of these autographs and someone said every 2 boxes, someone else said every 3. But when they released the 1992 Pro Line series, you could find one in every single box. Now, that's 1 per box, whatever. But what's interesting about these is they were the earliest autograph, at least that I can think of, like the earliest autographs that you could pull out of a box. And most of these players signed on the back here, which I think is kind of cool. Some would write across the words. Some would sneak it in like this. I think I saw a few on the front. And then there's a little authentic stamp. I think you can see the indentation. Anyways, that was a time where, I think autographs outside of actually asking the players for them, it was probably a shock to pull these out of packs of cards is what I'm getting at. I think that was probably one of the first. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I admit that I don't know the complete history of sports cards outside of the fact that I've been a collector for a long time. The other one that I think of is Skybox Autographics, which I think is one of the most iconic autograph sets in my mind. I don't know about the rest of you. But these were not a per box pull. And I might just have to make it a personal collection goal sometime to complete this insert series. But these were always cool. And this is where I'm getting at, especially where when I pulled one of these guys, it was like, I'm going to track them the whole way through. Now, I bought this later in life for the fact that I grew up a Timberwolves fan and liked Sam Mitchell. But these were not guaranteed per box. These were actually one in every 72 packs. So there was the kind of that separation of, I don't know that I'm going to get this. I don't know. There was something about, I'm going to go on a tangent here, but there was something about standing in line as a kid in Target with my dad, convincing him to let me grab a few packs of something. It might be press pass sometimes. I remember Upper Deck Ovation basketball, things like that. And then looking at the back of that wrapper and seeing like the odds of this insert and the odds of that insert. And so many of those inserts have gone to the wayside. I feel like we're starting to kind of heat up on especially like 90s and early 2000s inserts, but those used to be, people don't realize how tough a pull some of those were. I mean, there are some that were like 1 in every 15, 1 in every 52, 1 in every 1,300. Like, it was, some of these is just like, I don't know, and it feels like a saturation problem to me. I think that's the issue. And it would be kind of a hard turn to go away from the guaranteed autograph. I think it would be kind of a shock to our system, but at the same time, it almost feels like it could be healthy. It's just, I fear we're entering an era where these inserts, these autographs. Okay, so we already saw the issue where, silver rookies were a huge thing in the peak of COVID, and then everyone got them graded, and then all of a sudden it started to fall off, and now you can grab like certain rookies, PSA 9 or 10 silvers for $10 or less, because it saturated it so hard, and it made it feel like a base card. So then obviously the base card is destroyed, and then obviously the rookie card that's a non-silver is destroyed. And then it feels like if autographs continue being so forced aplenty, that those are going to be kind of destroying everything beneath them. And I just worry about the value of that system overall. I think that if we were to kind of pump the brakes and at least maybe inject more products where they weren't guaranteed, it would create health for the other cards that lie kind of beneath autographs. I think it could potentially be healthy for inserts and numbered cards and rookies, in that we'd have to kind of steer our attention from, okay, what's the value in this box when I don't pull an autograph kind of deal. And other little issues fixed, like, when you open, like, I haven't done this in a long time, but I've seen people open like boxes of contenders, and you pull like the guy who is the practice squad punter now that was undrafted kind of thing, which is a cool thing if you want to collect that guy. Like, maybe you don't have access to getting that guy's autograph. So on one hand, I don't want that to disappear, but on the other hand, these checklists of autographs have gotten so extensive that there's so many guys where it's like when you open a box, you feel disappointment at the autograph you got. And it would also be disappointing not to get one, but I hope you kind of understand what I'm getting at. Like, I want to kind of steer us in a way where we're not so, it's hard to say, because like I'm running a business kind of thing. So like, money is a focus, and then money also fuels my personal collection and passion. But I feel like money has fueled the reason for opening boxes so much, to a point that there's so much potential disappointment stacked up available to be had, and that more often than not it is disappointing, which on the other hand of things, if you always got what you wanted, that would eventually be numbing and disappointing as well. So there's some balance to be had, but I think this is an important discussion to be had, and I don't really know the true answer, but I want to give something to chew on. When it limits the checklist of autographs as well, I think it also, when it has that extensive of a checklist to when a company is guaranteeing the autographs and then they have to fulfill them and they have such a long list of players, I think that's where we get in the kind of redemption trap as well, because there's so much to pack in there. I think if autographs started to be more limited on the checklist of players, it would be more easy to fulfill them potentially. There'd be maybe less redemptions, we'd get key star players, and it might be rare to pull those star players, but it kind of would be a thrilling chase maybe to get it. Like, what if you had a product where you knew you weren't guaranteed an autograph, but like the autograph list in there were like the top 20 players in the NBA or the NFL right now. Maybe not a guy who, maybe not like an Otis Thorpe autograph, or which in my mind I think is kind of cool to pull those like old players too, even when they're like role players and things like that. But so often there can be a high-end product, and then that's like who you're pulling kind of deal. And no shade thrown on Otis Thorpe. I was just trying to think of a player that's like not LeBron James or Kobe or Michael Jordan level. Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on this. I feel like I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent, but my brain was going over things as I do that. And I also know that like I don't have the right true answer. Just a perspective to think about. I would love to hear your opinion in the comments on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you see this. Peace and love. See you guys.